How's it, guys? Welcome to my home studio. My name is Kelly, and on my channel I like to share planner videos, art videos, DIYs, crafts, mixed media, recipes, happy mail and hauls, and sometimes I will throw in a lifestyle video just for fun. So without further ado, I am going to be doing a crafty DIY video. Ooh la la, mon chéri, as it were. So I like to do things like this. I always have, and I like to give, gifts to my friends. It just makes them feel good. So I pulled a few tools. I have my AdTech hybrid cordless, which I have it plugged in though. Hot glue gun, and I just set it on top of an old Chinese takeout lid, just like that. I use this for a paint palette sometimes too. And I also use this little piece of cardstock. It's folded in half. This came out off of a bunch of folders, dividers, tab dividers from Walmart I bought years ago. So I kept these because I use them all the time for different things. So I use that, and these are my hot glue sticks. I just keep it in this little pouch from the Happy Planner. It velcros inside the pouch. To-go pouch, as it were. I also have this confetti. I got it last year from Hobby Lobby, and it's called Fall Party Confetti Assorted Colors. And I do believe, okay, this is called the Brother and Sister Design Studio. Okay, but that's part of the Hobby Lobby brand, as it were, and because I know that because it says Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, so, which is, I think, the base of where Hobby Lobby is located. Anyway, I just have it in this plastic bag that zips because I'm not going to use all of that, and I don't want it to spill around. So these are the ones that I picked. So it's just confetti, and they were 40% off when I bought them last year. So you have different shapes, pumpkins, acorns, and leaves, just different ones. So I just picked a few to use. And I also have pulled my Paper Studios paper trimmer, and I used this. I've already done the cutting. And I will give you the measurements. I also pulled this out just to show you. This is my Tim Holtz Sidekick die cutter. It's super cute and small and tiny. And I've already done that. And what I did was I die cut a bunch of these a while back. And then I just stamped on it, and I used this Lawn Fawn clear stamp set called Tiny Tag Sayings, and it just says "Just for You." That one. I got this last year. And then I also used this stamp set, or this stamp. It's a wooden block stamp. And the Lawn Fawn stamp set is from Scrapbook.com, and this one is from Michael's, like, over 20 years ago. Handmade by, and then you can just write your name there. It's one of those rubber stamps, so I used that. Oops. And I've had that for many, many years, so. I think that stamp is a really cute one. And I've also pulled out the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide in Wild Honey. And then right underneath of that, I have this. And I've cut down the paper. This is cardstock from Staples. You can get it also at Office Max or Office Depot, whatever you have in your area. And it works really, really well. You can also use scrapbooking paper craft stock, as it were. So, okay, so there's that. And I've cut this down. And I also have my clear bags, the 2.5 inch by 7 1/8 inch. And I was turned on to these by Lyric Lover, and I think it's Lyric Lover 810. Her name is Amber. I will link to her channel below. I love these bags. They have amped up my gift giving tenfold, so there's that. Okay, so I pulled the one I want to use, and we're going to use Hershey's Milk Chocolate Nuggets. Yum yum. My dad loved his Hershey Kisses. Anyway, so I've cut down some cardstock. This is what my stamp, my homemade by stamp looks like, and I have the measurements on it. So I'm going to read you these measurements first. For the inside part, it's going to go just like this. Okay? You are going to do 2.5 inches wide, so across there, with 1/2 inch score lines, which this is my sample, so I did it with 1/4 inch and then 1/2 inch. I prefer the 1/2 inch, so I'll show you that. By 5 7/8 height for the nuggets to fit inside this tray. This is your tray to make nuggets. It wasn't Lyric Lover whose channel that I watched this on for this video. I was inspired by someone else, and I will look up her channel. I forget what her name is, but I will link it below to do the nuggets. But people have been, I mean, Amber might have done this too. I don't know, but a lot of people have done this, and the person that I discovered this on, I will link her channel below. And then to wrap the nuggets, that's the measurement for this. And to wrap the nuggets, you need, this is a piece of my Hobby Lobby brand scrapbooking paper, the WJB collection. That is what I've used for that, because it's not cardstock, it's just regular weight paper. And you can use any kind of paper you have. So I did 3 1/4 or 2 3/4. You can go as small as that length by 1 1/8 width. And these are the wrappers for the chocolate nuggets. So that is my template for that. And then for the bag topper for the nugget bags, and I just measured it by this. These are my own measurements. I just measured it 4 inches in length. I mean, in length, excuse me, this way, by 2.5 inches wide by this, pardon me, by this way. Okay? And so, what I wanted to do was stamp out this homemade by and put it on the back, just like that. And this is a 2-inch stamp. So I do 2 2/4 inch for the width and 1 3/4 inch length for the height. Okay? Because I wanted to be able to glue it on there. And I also used the Paper Studios glue pen dual tip to glue everything. Except for these. With this, I used my glue gun for the confetti. It just was easier, and it's faster and stuck better because it's a like shiny surface. So those are all the measurements. So for my stamp, and it's going to vary on your stamp and your bag that you choose to use. There's that on that side. And that on that side, based on this bag. That way you can just take a screenshot. And then this. Okay? That's how I like these to sit. So, I'm also going to pull out my Martha Stewart scoreboard, just so I can show you how to do one. And then I have this is from Lake City Craft Co. But I picked this up at Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. And then I also have my bone folder. This is a We Are Memory Keepers bone folder from the, I think it's from the envelope punch board, because I can't find the one that goes to this. I think my friend has it in her stash. So, anyway, I've gone ahead and cut it. So, for the creases, like I said, on either side, do one side, then flip it, and then do the other side. So, those are just 1/4 inch creases. I mean, 1/2 inch. Excuse me. 1/2 inch score creases. Okay? So, this whole thing is 2.5 inches long. So, you want to go in here at the 1/2 mark. Right, like so. And you don't have to flip it if you don't want to. You can just go in here, because from 2 to 2.5, that's a 1/2 inch. But if you want to flip it and just do the 1/2 inch, you could too. Whichever way you prefer. Okay. So there's that. I guess get that out of the way, and then I just take I fold it over just like so, like this, and then I just take this part of my bone folder. I just like to use the back of it, and I just burnish it in. Just like so. Okay, and then you have a little place to put your nuggets, just like if you bought it in the store. Well, I don't know if they come like this, but anyway, this looks cute. You can buy lots of different candy like that. Okay, so then the other thing that I decided to do on my own, because this wasn't part of the tutorial or anything that I had watched by this other gal whose name has slipped my mind, but I just decided to use this wild honey and go over the edges. I think it's very befitting for fall. I think it's super cute, and I'm gonna have to wait to post this because there are a few people that are my subscribers, that are my friends, that are getting these, and I don't want them to see it. I want just to surprise them with it. Because I know they'll watch the video, you know, and I want it to be a surprise, as it were. So, there's that. But this is super duper fast and easy. Well, I mean, I did quite a few of these already, and I saved one. So when you're doing a lot of them, it does take actually a long time. But just doing one is super easy and quick. Mass producing, that's another story, but you know, it's all good. Okay, and then I just have my Ranger Heat It craft tool, and let me move the chocolate. I just go over that just like this, quickly, just to dry it. That way I don't have to wait. Now this craft mat is perfect because it's made by Tim Holtz and it won't melt when you use your craft heat it tool, because this thing is really hot. So you heat it craft tool, but it makes your watercoloring and things like this go super duper fast. So I do like to use it. Now, I've already done one in advance, so I could just show you that. Okay. All right. So then I'm just going to use this side. I find it doesn't leave any marks. Sometimes this will, but this side doesn't. And I like to use the burnishing roller tool a lot, but for this one I just used my bone folder. Okay, so there you have it. And then, now like I said, I've already taken the liberty to cut out the wrappers for everything in advance, and those are the measurements. So you just get your scrap paper, and they just wrap right in just like that. And they fit in here nicely, and just arrange them in the order, you know, that you like the best. I think this is so cute, honestly. Super, super cute. Whoa. And at the top, that one. I think at the bottom, that one. So then what I do, and that's your wrapper, and I will keep my templates all together so nothing gets lost. Okay, and that way when I go to make this again, I will have all my measurements, and then it'll go faster. So usually I just paper clip it, and then I keep it in a little bag. Okay. All right, so the other thing I like to do, and oh, by the way, I also distress ink this as well, this die cut with the wild honey. Okay, so I do that all at the same time, and then I dry it. Okay, and this next step is super easy. I just take the bag, and this is the opening here, and this is the wrapper that wraps it. Now, I've done some of these, I contemplated on this, and now my tea wrappers and my apple cider, or my apple cider, yeah, my apple cider little pockets that I did, and that was based on Amber's video, those were. And I put the wrapper at the top, but this one I was really thinking about it. And I know you can just cut it at the bottom, but I decided to go ahead and wrap it like this, because not everybody will think of that, the people you're giving it to. And so I know I want them to eat it, you know, and I know they won't if they feel like they're going to ruin the top of it. So I just decided to put that at the bottom so they could just open it, and they can see they can open it there, and then put my topper on the top. Okay, so I just get that ready like that. And like I said, I did my other two, the tea pockets and my apple cider pockets, the opposite. Even though I did think about it, I was like, oh, I want that covered so it looks pretty, but you know, I'm over that. I think I'd rather do it this way and let them see it. And anyway, so this is my We Are Memory Keepers Crop-A-Dile, and this cuts scallop and stub. It says it right there. Okay, sorry for the glare. So I like the scallop, so I'm just gonna punch the ends of this, and I've already cut out my paper for my bag topper with the measurements I gave you. So I cut all 4 sides just like so, which it needs to fit on the back of it. Okay, Then I've already scored, I scored all of these when I was making all of them, as you can see. And I fold it again, and then I scallop the two folded sections. Just like that. Now I did a tester to see if I could scallop this and still fit it on there. I mean, if this was bigger, it wouldn't cut anything off. But since it isn't bigger, I just went ahead and left it square like that. So, no big deal. I always just like to emperor, and I got a whole bunch of those on my floor. So I had to clean all of those little itty bitty bits up. Anyway, okay. So, what I want to do is I want to just glue these two pieces on. And for that, I just use this glue here, made by Paper Studios. I need to get one that's, I'm on the prowl for some glue, as it were. And I've been looking at I looked at them last year, and I just never went for it. But I think I'm going to get some of those little applicators with the needle tip, but I just want to find a nice glue that's economical too. Okay, so what I do is I put all that on there, and then I take my other piece and I just squish it around, just because there's just so much excess glue on there, and it always squeezes over the side. That's just how I roll. So, this goes on the back, and you don't have to do that, and I think it's nice. And then this one goes on the front. I like to mix things up, so that way when I'm giving several things all in one big shebang, you know, they don't all have the same sayings on them. That just gives it a nice little variety, you know. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do is I want to get out my Tim Holtz little tiny attacher. You can use a stapler if you don't have one of these, no problem. And then this goes on the front, just like so, okay? So I make sure it's down far enough. So, oh Lord, you know what I did? I did it backwards. Usually I do the stapling first and then I cover it with these. But this time, since I'm filming, of course, I forgot. So, but that's okay, because we have other elements that we're going to be using, and that will cover it up. So normally I just put one staple and then I glue both of these on. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2 staples on this side, this time. And then we will put some of these on. Thank goodness. Because the whole point is to be able to cover the staples up. Now this part I like to use my hot glue gun. Okay. And I just figure out where I want them. I think we'll do this. Yeah. Because I have more space on this. I mean, it's less wordage, so I have more space to finagle with these bigger die-cut confetti pieces. And that covers the staple nicely. Now, I did try to do it with the other glue, but it took forever to stick, and then it came off. So, I don't want that to happen. So, I'm using the hot glue. And if you have your strings, you know you can just pull those. Oh my goodness, what is happening? That's because I'm filming. Try again. That just came right off, didn't it? I guess I didn't hold it long enough. Or not enough glue. Hot glue, as it were. Plus, I didn't put it on top of staples with the other ones that I've done. Because I've done several of these already, you know. Okay, and then on the other side, we'll do these smaller leaves. Hopefully they will stick nicely. And I try to clean up the glue strings as much as I can, just so it looks more aesthetically pleasing. And then this one, now you can just call it a day here, but I have something else up my sleeve. You know, when you're decorating things, you just keep going and going and going. So I also have these assorted gemstones in my stash from last year, from last fall, and they come in this bag. And I will put them in this huge Ziploc Easy Fill bag for now. So I paid half price, 50% or 40% off for these. They come in the fall craft section. And this says 2016 on it, but I bought it last year, so they've been carrying them obviously for a while. I did not buy anything in the craft section this past fall because I got so much last year. So I decided to just use my stash, as it were. Okay, now there are so many different kinds, so they are really cute. Look at these green ones. Now, you don't have to, you know, add anything else if you don't want. But it's kind of fun to play around and just add different little elements. You could even put it on here. Just for fun. Okay, so I think I will add this one without burning my fingers, hopefully. Oh, you just never know. I think we'll put this one here, just like that. Cute. And then this one maybe back here, just to give it some bling. You know? Maybe up here. I like this green color too. It's always fun to play with your stash. You know? Oh Lord, that's hot. So just for fun to add that little extra oomph, as it were, to your project. So that's what it looks like. I think that's cute, right? Especially with the bling. Okay, great. Okay guys, that is everything, and this is how they turned out. I made several of these. So I'll just show you close up. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad. So these are chocolate Hershey nuggets, all blinged out with cute bag toppers, and homemade by Kelly, which is me. And these are, I'm just made these for gifts for a few of my friends. And I think it's nice to, I would have made more, but I ran out of the nuggets. But I think it's nice to just do little random acts of kindness for your friends, just to make them think, you know, remember that you're thinking of them. You know, there's the back. So they're all similar, but they're each a little bit different. And I like that a lot. There's these two. You get the idea. And these two. And these are really good, so unless someone is dieting, then I wouldn't recommend that. I would stick with the tea pockets because that's not fattening, you know, and you don't want to ruin someone's diet. I think it's so cute with a little touch of the gemstones as well as the confetti. So that, my friends, everything. I think they turned out super duper cute. I hope the glare isn't too awful so you can see these. So, alright guys, I thank you ever so kindly for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you folks have one beautiful day. If you like what you saw, I do hope you consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you ever so kindly for watching. Peace out.